A decision has been made. NBC has officially announced that Jimmy Fallon will take over The Tonight Show in 2014, finally putting the rumors to rest. Jay Leno will end his run as host of the show, and so will the LA location. Yep, the show is moving back to New York, the first time there since Johnny Carson left Burbank in 1972. Joining us to discuss this is Ross Luippold. He is HuffPost's comedy editor. So Ross, this is huge news, but it was expected, right? Oh, and Ross, I'm going to say it. This is our buzzword here at HuffPost Live. You are muted. So give a click, upper right-hand corner. You must have been typing like a gorilla before. We must have had to mute you. No, still nothing? All right. Well, hey, Ross, we're going to get right back to you. I promise we're going to go to our community as well while we're working on getting you on the line. We have with us in the Hangout Anthony Fisher from Queens, New York, Jane White from Madison, New Jersey, and Katie Halper from New York, New York. So, Katie, I'm going to go to you first because you are in New York, and that is where Jimmy Fallon is bringing the show back to. So, you know, there's Letterman in New York, but the rival's long been on the West Coast. What do you think we're going to see here?
Yeah, it's like the Biggie Tupac rivalry of comedy. I'm excited that it's coming back to New York. I'm a big New York fan, obviously, born and raised here. It would be exciting to see who replaces Jimmy Fallon, maybe a female comedian, but I think I'm being probably delusional.
Yeah. Hey, Ross, I want to hear what you have to say. I think we have your audio back.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, Ross.
Hey, Mike, how's it going? Yeah, so there have been these rumors since for a while now. I think that the conventional wisdom had been that Jimmy Fallon was being groomed to replace Jay Leno because, you know, Leno, his lifespan on television can only go for so long. And you have Fallon right there waiting in the wings. I think around December was when actual news reports started to leak. And then a few weeks ago was when I think Kim Masters at the Hollywood Reporter said that it actually is happening. And then a couple weeks after that, then Bill Carter of the New York Times, who's literally written 2 books about the subject, said they're building Fallon a new studio at 30 Rock, NBC. They really want this to happen. And then just a few hours ago, then NBC formally said yes. And did I get muted again?
Nope, you're still talking.
Fantastic. And then just a few hours ago, then the New York Times again said that, yes, it actually is happening. They're building him a studio. It's staying in New York, and Fallon's going to be hosting the thing February 2014.
So, Anthony, that was you who got muted before. So before I go to you, unmute thyself.
I am unmuted, I believe.
Excellent. Good. All right. So, you know, this is something that's been a long time coming. In fact, so long that Leno has actually already been replaced. It's just that he decided to take his spot back from Conan. This isn't going to happen this time, do you think, is it?
No, I think this will be pretty smooth. I mean, Jimmy Fallon is pretty much as milquetoast and safe as milk a comic as Jay Leno was when NBC pushed Johnny Carson out to pasture. I'm pretty sure they got it all worked out now. But I got to wonder what Conan O'Brien is thinking about all this, because I know he never wanted to move to L.A. and did it because their conventional wisdom was that's where the Tonight Show is. It's in L.A., so you must obviously uproot your whole staff and your families and move to L.A. And then NBC, of course, sabotaged him by putting Jay Leno on an hour before him to get all the premier guests and really create a ratings hole leading into to Conan's time slot. And then they blamed it on Conan. And then, of course, when that all went down, that whole fiasco, Jimmy Fallon was the only comedian anywhere who had nothing to say about it.
Do we think we can expect them, Team Coco, to come out orange hair ablaze, ready to say this is just a big FU to us?
I don't know. Conan's a classy guy, and I'm sure he's over it. But I gotta wonder in private what he's saying about all this.
Yeah. Well, Jane, we already heard Katie raise this question, but a commenter, Jay Lutz 23, asks, who do we expect will get Jimmy's late night slot?
May I answer that? I think. I'm sorry.
Okay, Ross, since you are actually not muted, then you sure may answer it.
Well, there have been reports over the last few days that they're really looking at Seth Meyers to take the job. I think that there was a anonymously sourced report in the Hollywood Reporter saying that unless something major screws up, then Seth Meyers, who came from the Weekend Update chair the same way that Jimmy Fallon did, is probably going to be the next host of Late Night.
At which point, Jane, we will hear another white guy coming to host Late Night.
Okay, so, sorry for being a pathetic old fart who can't unmute myself. But to me, comedians are in your face. They're the ones I really love. I'm not as much as an expert on you guys, but I think David Letterman is boring. How come nobody wants to replace him? Jimmy Fallon is, he's kind of musical, but I prefer people like, I think Jimmy Kimmel and Conan and Bill Maher and those kind of people. So I'm not impressed. We definitely need more in-your-face people. I don't know who. Maybe you guys have
and it's
more
funny,
ideas.
there was a story arc on Louis, the show on FX with Louis C.K., where he was being put through the audition ringer for replacing Jay Leno, but it was really ultimately just to get Jerry Seinfeld to sign with them. So, there was that issue as well, and I think, it'd be cool to have an edgier comedian, but it looks like they're not looking to go that way quite yet. But guys, I want to thank you very much for joining. Community, please stick with us. Ross, thanks for hanging out. Up next, we have Defense Chief Chuck Hagel, and he's taking on the sequester.